Veterans helping veterans is our mission because we are
Warfighter made.
All right, guys, so we got the call. They are going to allow us to build a Toyota Tacoma to create a specially adapted machine that injured warfighters who ride dirt bikes are going to be able to utilize to the utmost of their abilities.
This is Warfighter made.
Yes! My name's Rob Blanton. I'm a retired Master Sergeant, and I did 21 years as a recon Marine with 4 combat deployments. Really being in combat, to me, was the easiest thing in the world. I had to satisfy my requirements from higher. I had to make sure that my guys were doing what they were supposed to be doing, and then basically put my best boot forward not to get killed. My father was a car guy. He had a V8 Vega that he used to strap me in, put a little helmet on. And I remember I couldn't even see over the dash, but you know, the guy who ran the Christmas lights would walk up, tap on the door, make sure I had my helmet on, make sure I had my seatbelt on. Motorcycles, cars, anything with wheels and a motor, I was into. One of my good friends came in late to math class one day, and I was one of those guys with, listen, man, if you're not going to class, I'm not going to class. Next time you need to tell me, where were you at? And he was like, I just joined the Marine Corps. The recruiter started calling me and a couple other friends. 5 of us joined, became a Marine at 18, and then right before I left my hometown, my grandfather was standing there. Here's a man that I've always looked up to my entire life, and he's telling me in a way that I've never heard him talk before, don't quit. You get taken out of your comfort zone, you get thrown into something like Marine Corps boot camp. It's natural. Every single day, you're like, what am I doing here? But every time I was getting down on myself, you know, I'd always kind of think about that time of my grandfather telling me that. All these photos that are on my wall are people that mean the world to me. It takes me back to all the sights, all the sounds, all the smells are still there. I was an infantry Marine. I was a part of 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. In 1994, I was doing my first deployment. If you ever heard the term, you know, the Marine Corps is America's 911 force, it's because of these MEUs, these ARGs, these amphibious ready groups that are always out sailing. If anything goes down that the world needs immediate assistance, you have in excess of 2,000 Marines fully equipped, ready to react to anything, basically within 48 to 72 hours. And we got the mission that America has decided that they're gonna pull all of their troops out of Somalia. That was my first taste of combat experience, extreme poverty, constant fear from inter-clan fighting. It's really Western civilization appreciation. You know, say what you want to say, but for a brief period of time, America went in there and we made it better. The people can go to the wells and get water. There was food available with the UN shipments. And then something like Black Hawk Down happens, and then it's just like, let's get the hell out of there, which is kind of what happened. This jack signifies my recon heritage. It's got the Draeger dive surface valve in his mouth, the wings to signify airborne. In his helmet, he has the 3 bullet holes, which stands for pain, suffering, and misery. And then on the opposite side, he has a crack of perseverance. Over here we have the Shadow Man, which is a Marine sniper insignia. I decided that I wanted to become a recon Marine after watching the Force Recon platoon train on ship. A recon Marine from a Marine Corps standpoint is a highly trained, well-equipped Marine that can insert behind enemy lines and is the eyes and ears of the battlefield commander. I operated at First Force Recon from basically 95 to 2005. In those 10 years, I did multiple deployments. We inserted into Iraq the night prior to the ground war starting. A couple weeks later in Baghdad, we were the guys that would drive around and stop all the bank robberies, any civil unrest, Sunni Muslims turning on Shia Muslims. We were the SWAT team. At a time, we were doing extremist hostage rescue. We do specialized raids. It turned out to be a very rewarding career. My last combat deployment was in 2008. 2009, I was awarded the Silver Star Medal for extraordinary heroism. That same year, I was also diagnosed with severe post-traumatic stress. I basically lost my ability to control my adrenaline. I was fighting it hard, and it was destroying my relationship at home. I was not the father that I needed to be. I was destroying the relationship with my wife. I was having problems with nightmares. I lost a very specific person. We were ambushed, and basically the very first shot that was fired took out my Marine. He was married. He had a baby on the way that he never knew. I have a lot of dreams about not necessarily losing Mike, but trying to save Mike. And it's always like, I've got it this time in my dreams. This time I've got it. And it always ends the exact same way. One particular night, I was staring at the ceiling and I was like, I am so tired of this. I had made a determination that night that I was gonna be one of the 22. And fortunately, my wife stopped me. She reached out to a friend of mine and said that Rob needs some focus, he needs some help, he needs to do something. It just so happens that I had a 1969 Camaro that my mom got as a high school graduation present. She parked it in '89 and died in '96 of a drug overdose. I picked the car up in 2001. The focus it takes to work on a car and not screw up gives you a break from your triggers, your stressors. It's, you know, now I'm not locked up in my mind thinking about the things I could have done or, you know, wanted to do. And then specifically when I'm working on my Camaro, I'm like, man, I can't wait to drive this thing. I'm like, whoa. Did I just look forward to the future? Today I have a new purpose, giving back to the men and women who have served, impacted the nation and the world, and who are now walking among a population that doesn't care. And it's leaving those veterans lost. Warfighter Made is proud to partner with Monster Energy Supercross and Toyota in building the ultimate Supercross vehicle. For more on these stories, check this out.